Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Tuesday, July 25th. Hard to believe this month is about gone. But we got some news coming out today with some earnings. But don't forget, before we get started with hey, there's only certain things that we can control, and that is risk. Hang on, Dave will be with us just a second.
5.7 right here, Pimmon. It's Alan Archer's school's alma mater. You might be wrong, you might be right. It's the National Weather Service's national anthem from Billy Joel there. It's 8:40, 20 before 9. Time to check in on money and see why and what is happening to your money this morning. Downtown Sebring we go to Statler Financial Services' very own Phillip Statler, who's on the line this morning. Phillip, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Dave. Doing well today. I was looking back or looking forward, I guess, and thinking that it's just hard for me to believe that July is about gone, and that means the kiddos are getting ready to go back to school here pretty soon.
Yeah, one of my almanacs is now starting to count down to Labor Day, and it feels like summer just got started, and I'm saying, geez, Louise, let's not get that close that fast. Not that I'm not looking forward to having a little break in the heat, but other than that, the summer is kind of going by too fast. Setting up the table for this morning, it was a darn good day, evidently, when everybody said there's going to be a 99.8% chance of a quarter-point rate increase tomorrow from the Federal Reserve. That kind of gave the markets a little bit of assurance they could make their plans accordingly, and we had a pretty good day. The Dow was up by 184 points. Standard & Poor's was up by 18.5. Even NASDAQ recovered, up 26, and let me see. I didn't get a chance to look and see what the looking for the the Russell 2000 was up as well, about 0.25%. We ended up with a pretty good day, even though we weren't particularly happy with the odds of the Federal Reserve increasing interest rates again.
Well, the markets like certainty, and if they've priced in that high of a percentage, then that's pretty certain that we'll see a 0.25% increase on Thursday. So I think that's going to be the deal.
And that's kind of the thing that we've preachified for a long time. Good news or bad news, as long as we know what's going to happen, you can make an investment decision that'll make you money. And sometimes that's good for the stock market, whichever way it goes. As long as we know what the future is, it's when you don't know that the stock market gets so hinky, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, uncertainty really drives the market crazy.
Absolutely. I don't have any details on it, but the word just came off my ticker that the Chinese economy is getting some stimulus measures. It says that the Chinese government is implementing some stimulus measures in order to try to buoy up the economy. Once again, that can't hurt our stock markets if our biggest trading partner is actually paying attention and trying to make sure they get back to those growth rates that they're used to. So everything seems to be coming up roses at the very least until we start getting the government data dump later on in the week, right?
Well, that's right. I mean, remember, this week we do have on Thursday, I think probably an important number coming out, and that's the GDP. That number comes out on Thursday morning. And interesting, yesterday, Dave, I told you the expectation was for it to drop to 1.7.
Yeah.
They must have surveyed some more economists because it's up to 2% now as the expectation.
Let's find some more economists. These are moving targets as we go, but we ended up with, I think it was 2% in the first quarter reading that we had, so it'll be interesting to see what happens, what we can get in terms of the next reading on it, because it'd be nice if we continue to grow a little bit faster than they expected, but not too much, right?
Yeah, exactly, because I think that would, that's good for all of us, right? Except for maybe the Fed. They may not like that.
Yeah, that's true. The Federal Reserve doesn't like anything good these days. Other tidbits going on. Something you brought to the fore yesterday morning, UPS and the drivers union, the Teamsters, there was a severe threat of a strike yesterday. The threat's not gone away, but at the very least, they're back at the table. And, we talk about UPS, and I giggle a little bit about our office manager isn't going to be able to ogle our delivery guy in his cute brown shorts. But it really is. You look at the supply chain in this country, and the single largest delivery unit for our country is still the Postal Service. They delivered 6.7 billion packages last year. Right on their heels, though, is UPS at 5.2 billion packages. I mean, that's a big chart. That's a big part of our supply chain. And the thing that kind of made me sit up and take notice is they'd have an even bigger impact if it weren't for Amazon going on their own way, because the number 3 package delivery service in this whole dang country right now is Amazon Logistics, which really made me kind of drop my false teeth. They're even bigger than FedEx is.
Yeah, and that kind of surprised me as well. They've gotten that big, but you know what? Every time you turn around, you're seeing more and more Amazon trucks on the road.
Mm-hmm. I just, like I said, I'm not surprised that they're growing. I guess I was surprised that they're even bigger than FedEx as far as domestic package delivery is concerned. But that does kind of underscore just what a monkey wrench a UPS driver strike could throw into our economy if they do go on strike. So, cheering for some success on those. On those negotiations. A little bit more important than just whether or not you're going to get your Amazon delivery in, because Amazon can do it themselves. Earnings season. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that when it comes to that, I was listening to a report yesterday, and I think that the drivers probably have a little bit of an actual gripe. I mean, the low end driver is making $16, and that, you know, I mean, that's given wage inflation, that's not much more you can make it work at McDonald's.
I was going to say that's just $1 above minimum wage in a whole lot of states these days. So yeah, they've got a legitimate gripe and a legitimate argument going back and forth. I just hope they can meet in the middle somewhere and keep our delivery services going, because seeing UPS get shut down for a week or two, well, I think we can probably expect some volatility in the market if that happens. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Earnings season continues, and this is one of the days where we get a real flood of big names. We didn't talk about which one to lead with, but the first one that I saw, because I know it was a big drop in profit, 3M, my Lord in heaven, Post-it notes and Scotch tape. I always put that up there with toilet paper, something we can't live without.
Well, that's right. And 3M, they did, they reported, and they did beat on revenue. Earnings, maybe not, you know, they were kind of missed by a little bit, but they did beat on revenue, and they actually raised their full year earnings guidance and reaffirmed their revenue number for the year. And they are trading up 3.1% this morning. So some good news there. I must say the biggest thing that hit the ticker today was General Motors.
What happened?
In terms of overall, because, you know, you and I have been talking about year over year has not been good for companies. Well, General Motors kind of, they bucked that trend. Their year over year. Yeah. They're one of the things I saw was that their year over year revenue was up 25%.
Holy crud.
Yeah. Now their earnings, now they did have some charge offs in there. So there wasn't an actual comparable earnings estimate out there, because they did have a write-off that was not taken into consideration in a lot of the comparables. But even with the adjustments, they made $1.91 a share, which was better than the $1.85 without adjustments that everybody was expecting. So some good news there for them. They beat revenue by $2 billion more than expected for this last quarter. So they're really having a pretty good year so far. Now they are trading down right now just slightly by about 0.25%, and not sure where that is, because they raised their full year guidance, and year over year basis they've increased. I mean, everything looked good for them. Maybe it's just the automotive economy in a general that's got them trading down a little bit right now.
It's not a sector favorite at the moment, I know. Did they happen to split out divisions or anything? What did drive the big growth? Trucks, cars? Certainly not EVs, given what we're reading.
Yeah, you know, I don't know that I really got all the way through the article. I was looking for the meat and potatoes that I always have to talk about. Did not see that anywhere. There's a whole bunch of numbers in here, but it doesn't really talk about division by division. They did have a big unexpected charge off of about $800 million for some commercial agreement they had with LG Electronics, and that they, I guess, bailed on. So they had a almost $800 million chargeback for that. So,
Cross
but
my
other than
fingers.
that,
Cross my fingers. It means they're bringing some stuff in house. LG's across the other pond.
well, that's true. And you wonder how much of that went towards charging stations that they teamed up with Tesla with instead.
Could be.
My
Could
thought.
be. I'm glad to see them doing well, just in terms of any domestic industry. Other indications, whole lot of
So we had
household names
an
out
old, but an old blue company. It's not so relevant these days like it used to be, and that's General Electric.
Mhm.
General Electric had stronger than expected earnings and revenue for this last quarter, and they boosted their full year profit guidance. So, they're mostly now in aerospace. So that's kind of the area they specialize in now. They're up 3.8% this morning. And then let's Verizon. We'll kind of close out with Verizon, Dave. Verizon reported, and they reaffirmed their full year guidance. They did have a mixed quarter for this second quarter for them. Earnings was $1.21, which was better than expected. However, revenue missed by about $500 million. So they a mixed quarter for them, but they're still up 2.4% this morning.
All right. I guess our cell phone bills will be going up, won't they?
Of course.
And we got some big ones that are coming up later on today, by the way. Alphabet, Google, and Microsoft among the stuff we're going to be talking about tomorrow morning. Resetting the table, it was I call it a surprising update yesterday. 45 minutes before we opened this morning, what are we looking at?
So we've got the Dow 30 is basically flat right now at zero. The S&P 500 is up less than 0.1%. The big winner right now is the NASDAQ 100. It's up about 0.33%. So some good things happening there with that index. On the other side, we've got silver trying to make a little bit of a comeback, up 0.6%. Gold's up 0.25%. I'm sorry, gold is actually down. I looked at the wrong line there. Down about a little over 0.1%. Crude oil is down almost 0.5% this morning at $78.44. But man, it's getting too close to 80, Dave.
I think that's a little even higher than it was yesterday morning, as we were just a little over 78 yesterday. I'm not impressed. Overseas markets, generally an up day on the Asian Rim at the 6 a.m. close this morning. The stimulus moves in China had a good effect there. Europe is also trading up fractionally, but up midway through their trading day. Your retirement is important. Your retirement deserves a plan. Your retirement deserves to know where the risk is that could scuttle that plan. How do I find you to find the risks in my retirement plans, Phillip?
The whole risk thing is exactly why we developed our core retirement design, because there's a lot of risk in retirement, not just your portfolio, but with taxes and income, all that stuff we cover in our core retirement design. Give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule your core retirement design phone consultation. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk 730, 95.3 FM.
And back here again tomorrow morning to talk about a whole pile of earnings and what the rumors are like coming out of the Fed as well. I'll see you then, all right?
All right, man. Have a great day.
Be well, my friend. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I hope you will join us again tomorrow morning, same time, same place. If you need anything, we're here as a sounding board, as information to help you make the right choices and the right decisions when it comes to your retirement. Give us a call at 863-382-0037. With that, talk to you tomorrow.